y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is October 9th, 2018. It's a Tuesday. We are maybe creeping into fall because it's only getting into the mid 80s here in Houston. But I know that many of you are having the same weather. So it has been entirely too long since the last time I've spoken with you, and life, right? I think that's just how it happens sometimes. I've been very busy and so many things are happening in Suburban Stitcher land, and all are good and fun, and I just can't wait to share them with you. So since the last time we spoke, I know that I did not do a Get Suburban winner last time, so I want to go ahead and insert the winner video here. Hi y'all, so I am here to announce the hashtag Get Suburban winner for this episode. And I did random.org on our Ravelry page for the finished object thread. We have 75 posts in there right now, and the winning post was number 19, and that goes to KT Craft. She knit a sock head hat out of the menagerie colorway, and it's so beautiful. That's one of my favorite colors, with the greens and the blacks and the pinks. So pretty. So congratulations, KT Craft. And that is Katie from King George, Virginia. And if you will message me, what you are winning this week is a very exciting gift. You are winning one copy of the Socks of Wonka for Paper Daisy Creations Socks of Wonka full sock pattern set. And if you will message me, I will have that sent over to you just as soon as you get a hold of me. So congratulations. Thank you all so much for everyone participating in this. And just as a reminder, anytime you finish a project that has Suburban Stitcher yarn in it, as long as it's about 50% of the yarn that you used, go ahead and enter it into the finished objects thread in the Ravelry group, and you are entered to win a prize. One post for every object that you finish. It's cumulative throughout the year, or we're probably just really going to keep it going. And yeah, so thanks for knitting, and congratulations, Katie. Since last time we spoke, I do not think that I have any finished objects, which is sort of surprising and entirely unsurprising all at the same time. As I said, I've been very busy. I've been, can't say monogamous, but I'm kind of in my routine of working on just a handful of projects. And then this new one just popped up and is taking over all of my brain space. So let's just go ahead and jump into works in progress. So I'm almost positive that I showed this last time. It's honestly been so long I can't remember. But I cast on a sock for the Hohi Fall Knit Along, and I am using a base of yarn that I was testing to see if I liked it for the shop. I don't think I do. I just think I prefer my 75-25 base. I know. I feel like the base of sock yarn that you like is sort of this dividing schism between knitters. And it's like everybody is very, very powerfully dedicated to the base that they like. I know that the 80-20 base is very popular. It is a little bit thicker. It makes a denser weight, I guess a denser thickness, denser fabric when you're knitting up for socks especially. It does provide some shadowing, when it's dyed, and when you're looking at the actual yarn, you get some because it's only 2-ply, you get some shadowing. However, I really, really love the 75-25. The 80-20 has just kind of never been my favorite. I like the smoothness and the smooth fabric that you get with the 4-ply sock yarn. I just feel like you can see less texture in a knitted stockinette sock. I like that it gives you a little more yardage, and I actually really like the fabric that it makes, that it is a little bit thinner. Now for me, I live in Texas. I don't need a lot of big, huge, thick wool socks because that's not the climate that I live in. So I've always been drawn to that 75-25, and I find it just so versatile. And like I said, it's my favorite, and that's why I carry it in my shop. I get a lot of requests if I will ever carry the 80-20, and I don't think I will. I've done it one time for a special project with Mrs. Brown's bags, but I think that I'm going to stick with my 75-25. So, so that being said, this has been an interesting experiment on a new base that is thin. It gives me the thin fabric like I enjoy, but is a little bit, it's almost a little bit splitty, but maybe that's just because I'm not used to that 2-ply. Anyway, that's a super long-winded introduction to this sock pattern. I'm knitting the Beach Grass Socks by Joji Locatelli. I have done a shorter leg, not a super long leg. The colorway that I'm using is called That Old Chestnut, and it is one of my new fall colors. This color, right, yeah, you can sort of see right there that there's a lot of browns and reds and lots of different tones of yarn in this color. I don't know why it's wanting to focus on all the things other than the sock. So we're just going to keep experimenting and see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So you can see there that color. It's a reddish brown, a chestnut brown, if you will. And again, the pattern is Beach Grass by Joji Locatelli. She has a heel flap and gusset written in, a suggested heel for this pattern, and I started that, and that's just a very slow sock heel for me. And this is not like my traditional 64 stitch sock. I'm knitting a 66 stitch sock in order to work with the pattern, and it was just creating a weird, like I was having trouble with numbers. So what I decided, I ripped back. I'm putting in my Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is a short row heel that I kind of go to all the time. And I've also decided that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to carry the front of the pattern down the foot of the sock. So this pattern will just be on the leg of this sock. So that is one work in progress. This one is definitely now in the travel purse car category of projects, and that always is nice. This is in a bag made by Handmaids by Olivia, who is This Handmade Life on Instagram. And it's actually one of my favorite sock bags. I'm really enjoying it right now. Okay, so the next work in progress that, again, I'm pretty certain you have seen before is, and I haven't worked on this in, gosh, maybe a week or two. Not since I was in Canada, which I will talk about at the end. Okay, so I am knitting the Time Trade Shawl by Boylan Knitworks, Caitlin Hunter. This is a big wrap. I say Time Trade Shawl, it's really a wrap. So this is the pattern picture, and it has this kind of gradient using solids and or solids and tonals and speckles. And I dyed up some yarn especially for this project in mind it's 2 new colors in the shop, well, new-ish, new in the last month or 2. So here's where I am on this. I'm making good progress, but there's still a bit to go. And unfortunately, as things go, it's like I put it down and then you sort of lose your steam. So it starts here, and this is basically a giant feather and fan wrap. So this is my coal colorway. This is Ashes. This is a new-ish color called Smoke. This light silvery gray is Whisper. Then this light solid pink is Demure. And then this first darker pink speckle is called Lagniappe, and that's spelled Lagniappe for those who are wondering how Lagniappe is spelled. And this light pink speckle is called Evangeline. And I am so excited to have this as a finished object. I love it. It's already getting it's going to be so long and really, really pretty. The great thing about wraps, as opposed to a shawl, is that the stitch count never gets any bigger. So as you're knitting, it stays the same, and that's so, so great. So I'm knitting this out of all of my hand-dyed yarn. I had intended to have it finished for Canada, and then that didn't happen. And I knit on it a little bit in Canada, but the feather and fan, I messed it up twice, like in 2 rows twice while I was sitting knitting with friends, and I thought, you've brought simpler knitting, Diane, so pull it out. This is not conversation knitting. It is very simple lace, but I was having so much fun that my brain was not concentrating on that. So that is Time Trades by Caitlin Hunter, and I will hopefully be back to that soon. I say that hopefully like someone else is in control of this other than me. Okay, so what's in here? Oh, I think I brought this over, but I can't show it to you. Okay, I will show you the bag because this was one of my exciting new acquisitions from my trip to Canada, and it was a gift. I had the pleasure of sharing a room with Helen Stewart of Curious Handmaids on my trip to Canada, in both of the houses that we stayed in, and she was so sweet. I'm feeling a little bit guilty because I feel like I guilted her into this, which is maybe ridiculous. People they have their own minds, they can do what they want, but we were talking the night before the market opened at Knit City, and I said, I really want to go to this one booth because she makes gorgeous bags, and she really has a lot of Rifle Paper Company bags, and I mentioned specifically that there was this one big pink rose one that I loved. And then, as you do, you go kind of the next day to the festival, and people are sort of kind of all wandering on their own, and then we finally met up at night, and she was showing her stuff, and I said, oh my gosh, that's the one I love. And then she gave it to me. So anyway, I do love it very much. So this is I think it's called a Finch bucket, which is, it's enormous. Think fringe bag on steroids. Like, it's that sized. It's quite large. It's Rifle Paper Company canvas with this gorgeous, the pattern is called Juliet Rose. And it's like very Diane. I just feel like the colors, like the bright pinks and the soft pinks and all the other, it's just so, so lovely. The bags are extremely well made. And I have a test knit in here that I can't talk about. So that's what's in it. And yeah, so there you go. My last work in progress is a new project that I just cast on, and well, just since returning from Canada. It is also in a Stitch Mischief bag that is like a mini sized, which is still a easy 3 skein DK weight project in here. This is called, I think, her Little Finch. It's also a Rifle Paper Company fabric. I think this is the Menagerie fabric. This is a quilter's cotton, and then she has this really pretty like metallic woven fabric in this dark jade green. And you will see in what I'm wearing, and then also like my stash acquisitions, like this not like, I mean, I love olive green. Apparently I'm just in a green place right now. I think that's what it is. Green and pink are definitely calling to me. And there's something about this like super dark tealy hunter green. Anyway, and then look at the inside. It's got gingham. So cute. Anyway, I started a test knit for Vera Valimaki. She, for several weeks before the Knit City trip, she was posting on Instagram about this gorgeous brioche cowl that she was knitting. And I told her when I saw it in person in Canada, I said, I'm going to need you to let me test that. And she didn't say no, which I'm super grateful for. So I am just getting started. I really am enjoying this, and I feel like I understand, like I'm finally getting where the pattern is going, you know, like it's kind of like lace where it takes you a little bit to kind of go, oh yeah, I get this. And so I'm much better at knitting it, not having to reference the pattern every 2 stitches. Okay, so here it is, and this is like a color blocked cowl. Let's see if she has a picture. She does. So you can sort of see right there. It's brioche, but it's 3 different colors, very color blocked. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. So I have chosen 1 skein of sweet fiber that I bought in Canada. This is called Crush. This is on the DK base, which she calls, what does she call her DK base? She calls it Merino Twist DK in the Crush colorway. 100% superwash merino. And then I'm using 2 colors of Suburban Stitcher yarn. So this is the Crush in here on the back side right now. Then this golden yellow color was an exclusive for the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat that I did this summer. It's called Ooh Honey. And it's like a golden marigold bright yellow. And then my 3rd color that I'll be adding in is also Suburban Stitcher, and this is called Masquerade. And it's a kind of grayish purple lavender background with red and navy and golden like ochre speckles. So that I think is going to be really fun. So there's the 3 colors. It's going to make some great stripes, like it's purposely kind of color blocked and stripy pattern, and I'm really loving it. I'm slow going because work has been very busy this week since returning, but I'm enjoying every stitch. So I think that that's it for my current works in progress that I'm actually giving some time and attention to, I think. For Hello Lovelies this week, it's kind of a lot. And I'm just gonna go with it. You know, it's been several weeks since I've podcasted. Some of these are gifts, lots of them are purchases, and I just am really excited about everything. And I want to show you all of the really exciting things that I bought while I was on my trip, and some of which came in before. So buckle your seatbelts, people, because this is about to be enabling overload. Okay, so the first part of our trip, we stayed in a house with 8 people, and all of us ended up sending, fun little gifts to each other, and are bringing little gifts to each other. One of our housemates is an employee of Woolfolk, and she gifted everyone with 2 skeins of their brand new base. Is it Flette, F-L-E-T-T-E? And I picked out these 2 colors. This is a pretty navy, and this is a tan. So pretty. The yarn, as per the usual with Woolfolk, is just unexplainably soft. It's textured. This is what they say, and she was so sweet because we were like, oh, it's like a boucle, and she was like, no, that is not the word we are using. So it is not a boucle. It is a, it is a textured yarn. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've talked this much in a week. So my voice is probably going to go out while we're talking. And I feel like I'm getting a cold. Yay. Anyway, this is a textured yarn. I'm sure that you have all seen it. There it is, kind of over my finger. I don't know if that will focus so that we can see it. But anyway, you can see that it's textured. There we go. I think these are going to be, there is a pattern out there, and it might be even put out by Woolfolk. There's a pattern out there that is for a very basic ribbed hat, and it takes 1 skein of this yarn. And since these are in very gender neutral color palettes, could go for boys or girls, I think I might make just 2 basic hats and just add them to our family hat stash. Maybe my kids will get them as gifts. Maybe not. Maybe they'll just be something that happens eventually in our home. But I just think that would be perfect use for these. And they're, oh my gosh, they're so soft. It's amazing. Okay, so what else? So that was a gift. And then I also got, I put it in this bag thinking I was going to cast it on this weekend, but I didn't. So I also got a sweet gift from Nicole of Hue Loco. She had dyed up this really beautiful skein of yarn and gifted it to people that she wanted to, friends and roomies, and it's a Knit City exclusive little skein that she was just giving to people that she wanted to, and I happened to be one of those people, so that was really exciting. And I will say I had the best time talking to Nicole. Getting to talk to people about what we do is amazing, and me and so many other yarn dyers that have started in the last couple of years, 2 to 3 years, I would say we were all very inspired and in many ways taught by Nicole and her extremely generous tutorial videos that she has made for dyeing yarn and put out there free of charge for anyone to see. And that's a really amazing thing, and I don't think that enough people are sharing information, and it's really easy to get into just feel like everything is proprietary, but some things can be your color recipes, certainly, but there is such value in sharing knowledge. We're so easy to, we're so quick to share, you know, oh, let me just help you with the stitch. This is how you do it, and not charge someone for that. Why, you know, why don't we do the same with yarn dyeing? I don't know. So I am forever grateful to Nicole, and so that was just that was a very special, a special time that I had chatting with her, and it was such a treat to meet her, and I'm very excited about my Knit City skein that she dyed, because it's definitely an awesome souvenir and memory. Okay, so, oh, the other yarn that was a gift was from another housemate who brought us all tuku wool. So I have 2 skeins in the sock. This is in this gorgeous dark plum color that's not really, it's showing up a little more burgundy on the screen, but it is definitely dark purpley plum. And it is the sock base, which is 80% Finnish wool, 20% polyamide, made in Finland, 50 grams, 160 meters. And I don't know if this is the color or the price or whatever is going on here. I don't know Finnish. But, yeah, so I don't know if that's a price or a color, but I will show you that so that you can see, just in case that's an important piece of information to find the color. But I know that if you're in the States, that one of the very, very best places to find European yarns, but still avoid paying duty, is by ordering yarn at the Woolly Thistle. And I have ordered several times from the Woolly Thistle, and it's WOOLLY thistle.com. And the lovely, is it Corinne, I believe, has a podcast, and she is so knowledgeable about European yarns, and she's extremely passionate about getting the best of what is on the other side of the ocean over to us. And she carries tuku wool. So if you cannot find it somewhere else, definitely, I know that the Woolly Thistle carries it, and this is not sponsored in any way. I'm just a happy customer. So those were the gifts that I received. One of the things that I knew going in was I was desperate to see Sweet Fiber, and as was every single other shopper in the entire Pacific Northwest. I feel like Sweet Fiber is to a yarn festival what Lobby in a May would be to a yarn festival. You have to get there really early for the best selection, and she sells out. And she must have brought 3,000 or 4,000 skeins of yarn, and it was gone. It was basically gone by the end of the first day, which is insane, right? That's amazing. Amazing. Oh my gosh, amazing. And I was a little bit bummed because I didn't get there until after lunch, and I just thought, I've already missed out on what I wanted. I didn't know that this exact color was what I wanted when I got to Canada, but maybe the night before or 2 nights before, no, it would have been Wednesday night. So Wednesday night, when we got to Canada on Tuesday, Wednesday night we had a huge family style dinner party with our house, and then we invited some friends that were local to the Vancouver area, and those that were visiting. And so we had some extra knitty friends in our group on that Wednesday night, and one of those friends was Alexa from Tin Can Knits. And she was finishing up a sweater that was a sample for her booth, and the body of it was knit out of this color. This is why I say, like, there's something about this color right now in me. I'm just so drawn to it. So this color is called Marshland, and I knew when I saw that sweater that Alexa was knitting, I said, I am going to have a sweater quantity of yarn in Marshland. So I do. I thought originally that maybe I would get a DK or a worsted because quick sweater knitting. And then I sort of stepped back and thought Texas. And I purposely picked a base that I don't carry because. So I picked up a sweater quantity of Sweet Fiber Cash Merino 20, which is a fingering weight yarn, and that's 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. An absolutely stunning base, and the color is Marshland. And it is this beautiful deep greenish blue that is so tonal, so beautiful, and I'm just so excited. I've been waffling back and forth on what to knit, and I originally thought a boxy, and I still may knit a boxy, but my other thought that might win out is I have wanted to knit, and I'm really excited about cropped sweaters right now, which seems ridiculous, but I am loving them. I'm loving that people are wearing them over dresses and skinny jeans and tank tops and, you know, a little bit cropped, which boxy is designed to be that way. But I also am really liking the little, you know, maybe half as much ease. So instead of 20 inches of ease, maybe 8 to 10. And a sweater that I have been drawn to since the moment it was released is called Piece of Silver, almost positive, by Vera Valimaki, and it was released in the first Lina magazine. It is a cropped sweater. I think it's knit with 3/4 sleeves, which would be perfect for me, but it has this big, gorgeous, ribbed cowl neck at the top. And there's something about that sweater, and gosh, wouldn't this be an amazing, this would just be amazing. It would be amazing for anything, but so those are kind of my two thoughts for this yarn right now. So I got that. I also bought 2 other skeins of yarn at Sweet Fiber, and I originally thought that these 3, the Crush, which was the pink in my cowl, and then these other 2 were going to be the ones that I was making that cowl out of. And then I thought, no, I really liked the gold that Vera had in her sample, and I liked that she had a speckle too, so I ended up pulling some yarn from the shop for that. But these 2 colors are also in the Sweet Fiber Merino Twist DK. This is Paper Birch, and this is Olive. So these will be just great. I mean, her solids, quote unquote, are so beautiful and so tonal. I am shocked beyond all reason that I did not come home with any of her rose gold color, and it's only because I wanted a sweater quantity out of it, and by the time I got to her booth at about 12:30, all of the sweater quantities of that color were gone. So that's a color that I'm just going to wait and order online when I'm ready to knit a sweater out of it. So yay, Sweet Fiber. That's a lot of Sweet Fiber love. I also had the most amazing time meeting Felicia of Sweet Georgia Yarn, and she was another friend that came to hang out with us for our family dinner on, I keep saying family because it was like we were a little knit family this whole week, to our little family dinner that week leading up to the show. And I knew that I mean, you cannot go to Canada in Vancouver and not get Sweet Georgia. Like that's where she is. And so I had to get some. And I bought 3 skeins of this gorgeous base flaxen silk fine. And it is a 65% silk, 35% linen, fingering weight 180 yards. So this would easily be for a silk and linen top, or it could be a shawl, but I feel like I want a garment out of this. The colorway is mink, which is a beautiful dusty, kind of dark dusty gray lavender. It's so beautiful, and the silk is so shiny and soft, and the linen is soft because of the silk. It's such a luxurious base, very much a splurge as far as a project, but it's souvenir yarn. It's all a splurge, right? So that is Sweet Fiber. Y'all, there's more. Like, there's just gonna keep being more and more. I'm just here to tell you. There's like 6 more purchases. The whole week leading up to this this retreat, we were sitting around in our house, you know, lots of knitting, lots of chatting, and Jody of Mrs. Brown's Bags was designing and knitting her brand new shawl that's about to come out. It's called the Malibu shawl. It's named after the street that our little family house was on, which is this amazingly gorgeous house. Like, I can't even. So she was designing the shawl, and the whole time I was like, I have to knit this. I should be test knitting this right now. I have the file. I should be test knitting it, especially since it comes out later this week. I should at least start it. Anyway, so what I did is I purchased 3 skeins of yarn from 3 different dyers, all Canadian dyers that I have not, well, I can't say I haven't had their yarn before. I've used Yarn Ink, but I wanted purposely 3 different dyers that all worked together for that shawl. And so I think that this is it. So I purchased a skein of Fireside DK in the Antique Shop colorway from Flock Fiber, which, oh my gosh, this yarn dyer. That is one to watch, y'all. She is amazing. Maybe I'm just behind the times and everybody's already watching her, but gorgeous. Yarn Ink in the Virtue colorway. And this was a new to me dyer. This is called Black Cat Custom Yarn. This is in the Void Talon colorway, and it's on her double base because it's a DK double knit, so it's double. Void Talon, so it's this dark, very moody, plummy, almost black purple. My only concern that I may end up swapping maybe a Suburban Citra yarn is that these two are too similar. So I have a different color in mind that is in the shop, or an existing colorway that I may swap out for the Yarn Ink and put in between these two, but either way. So I got those. Okay, let's see what else there is. Oh, the other thing that I would like to say, yeah, there's still bags that I'm going to show you. Yarn makes me so happy. Yarn makes me so happy. Okay. Also, the Canadian dollar is totally in our favor in the US. So there's that. Okay, so let's see what else I got here. I think it's right here. I haven't shown this yet. I bought and had autographed the new Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits, and the sweater that Alexa was knitting a different sample in and finishing up was this sweater. and she was knitting this body. It's not this one because this one is finished, obviously. She was knitting, I think, a kid-sized one, but it was, the body was knit out of marshland. And it was just amazing. So I bought Strange Brew. I love a good pattern book, and if they, you know, if a company gets me with, here is a pattern book and here is yarn for several of the projects in the pattern book, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sold. And that's what happened at Gauge Dye Works. So Andrea Rangel, who is a Canadian designer, had this book called A Knit Outside with 3 patterns all out of Gauge Dye Works yarn. And I didn't even notice the book. Like, I didn't notice it when I was walking through. And I was looking just kind of in the cubes in their shop, and I like stopped in my tracks and said, oh my gosh, what is this yarn? Because I saw this color. Oh my gosh, the skein is so enormous, and it's coming undone. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, I saw this color like in the shelf like this, and I thought, oh my gosh, those are so Diane. Like, they're just so beautiful. What? Show me a sample made out of that yarn. And the lady that was there said, oh, that's actually these socks. What? Now, this is a huge skein, so obviously you do not need this much yarn, but it was the only one left. And that is what caused the Gauge Dye Works incident, let's say that. So this was the last one, which means I had to get it, even if it was way more than I needed for socks. The color Sax Point, I guess, is what I'll say. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. It's these gorgeous, like, browns and blues and this really pretty, like, rosy, rusty red color. So, so beautiful. All of it is in here. And I mean, with it's 170 grams, I could knit knee highs. I could if I wanted to. I don't know that I will. I said that to my friends. I was like, I'm just totally gonna knit knee highs. I mean, I've got all the yarn, and I probably won't because reality. But yeah, I couldn't. So I got this and I thought, well, I need the pattern to go with it, right? And then I was looking at other yarns and I said, oh wow, I really like this shawl. But I just like, did y'all dye up other colors? And they were like, yes, we actually did. So here's the shawl that I liked in here. Let's see if I can show this to you without, oh yeah, look, here's a page that has, I can do like this. So that's the shawl. That gorgeous kind of gray, and then those pops of like chartreuse, and then it has a green border, which, I mean, I'm into green, but I am also forever and always into pink. And so I bought that yarn to make that shawl. So there's tons of this pink on the outside, and you can see that it's got these, like that little pop of chartreuse is going to make those pops in the pattern, but then all the gray for like the main, like the beginning of it is all in there. So like, Gauge Dye Works does the math to figure out how it's going to happen, which is astounding to me. So Gauge Dye Works and the patterns, which is kind of great. It's like I bought it specifically for the things. I don't have to decide. I don't have to think about it. It's just ready to go. And every time you make a purchase with them, they put it in these beautiful bags, which was super great. I was literally done buying yarn, and then this was like one of my last things, and I thought, oh, Diane, ridiculous, but whatever. I don't care because I love it. I bought 3 skeins of Tuscan Knits. I've never seen her yarn in person, and it was amazingly gorgeous. These beautiful fall skeins that remind me of fall in Canada, because it's certainly not fall here. and doesn't look like this in the fall here. This is on her 100% superwash merino. There you go. 100% superwash merino. This is Mushroom Patch. This is Now a Ghost Town. And this is Kraganmore. So I just thought those looked so beautiful together. I don't know if they'll end up together, but they're very pretty as a set. So I got those things. Again, exchange rate in our favor as a US person. Which I had to keep reminding myself as they would give me the total, and I thought, okay, take 25 to 30% off of that, and then that's the real total. It was hard to, like, you had to keep reminding yourself that. Okay, so I got Lichen and Lace. Oh my gosh, I fell down the rabbit hole in this place. Lichen and Lace has this, I don't know if it's new or if it's just different, I don't know. But first of all, how can we not all be enamored with this label and the fact that she zigzags everyone? That's kind of insane. This is a rustic Heather Sport 100% Canadian wool. It is a rustic sport weight yarn. This is in the ash colorway. It is dyed. It is not the natural color of this wool. I bought, the reason I wanted to get this yarn is because Vera is designing a sweater out of it and was knitting on it while we were there. And I kept seeing it, and it was softening up and getting so beautiful as she was knitting with it. And I just thought, it's like magic happening right in front of our eyes. I have to be a part of this. I considered getting a sweater quantity to knit like the one that she's designing, and then I thought, no, I want the yarn, but I want maybe options to do other things. So I bought one skein of ash, one skein of shrub, which is this olivey green, again with the greens. I bought this, what I assume is the natural. It's called Snow. And then I bought 3 skeins of it in the rose colorway. And I think what I'm thinking about doing is finding a plain, like a short sleeve, there's the rose colorway, just very grayish pink, beautiful. What I would love to do is find like a short sleeve sweater of some sort, maybe cropped, maybe not, or 3/4 or something like that. And then if it has some color work, like I can do some color work at the top, and this can be the body. Yeah. And then I also got 1 skein of her mohair that is in a color that sort of, it's called Faded Rose. And I just felt like if I were to decide to hold it with all of these, or at least for part of it, then it just kind of looked like it all went together. So that's what I did. It's obviously not enough mohair to hold throughout the entire thing, but maybe I could hold it like just with the pink part, or I don't know. I just liked it. It just needed to all be together. So, sorry for crinkling and all of that. So that was Lichen and Lace. I know I have these little things that I purchased and I can't find them. Oh, you know what? I bet this is here, and then I got, shoot. I'm going to have to go get it because I really want to talk about it. Oh, no, they're right here. Yay. Okay. So for the last yarn that I show you, I want to show you these. This was the sweetest, oh my gosh, the sweetest booth. And it's all these handmade like resin tins for holding stitch markers and various things. This one had peaches, which I just love all things peach scented. I love peaches. I love them. So she had the peaches, and I thought, well, duh. And it's this little, like, cute little tin to put anything in, but stitch markers, of course. And then I bought 2 sets. She has these little sets of stitch markers put together. I bought the honeycomb set, and they're in these little glassine bags, and I'm not going to open it up, but I guess I could. But it has gold toned stitch markers that are like these little hexagons that are like the rings that are cut into a hexagon shape. And then it also has one progress keeper that is like a bee. So that's not going to focus. I'm not going to hang out and try to focus it, but you get the idea. So I just thought the packaging and the marketing on her booth, like, you put it in a pretty little thing like that, and I'm sold. That's so beautiful. And then I got a pear set. So same idea. This one is called ultra petite pears, and I will show you. They're so petite. They're so cute. So the progress keeper is a pear in silver, and the little stitch markers are also pears, but they're so small. Let's see if I can do this. It's a cut out pear. There's no way you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I'll put it on my forehead. It's a little pear. So cute. Ah, so cute. So that was a lot of fun. And, oh, I guess I should tell you who these came from. Firefly Notes Online. And then I bought some other yarn from Yarn Ink. This color, I don't dye red, and so when I find a good red, it's kind of hard to pass up. This is in her classic sock, which is, they're called Love Letter. Classic sock is 75/25 merino nylon. This is Love Letter. So I got 3 different sets of these, and they're both in the same bases. This is the color Edge, mohair and classic sock. And then the last one is called Antique. So these will need to be held together in some sort of project. Super cute. That was Knit City. I have this sort of personal idea that, and I got some other yarn in right before I left that I'm not going to show because I feel like that's a lot of things to show. I have this idea that everything that is new that I cast on is going to be from my Knit City yarn, at least for the next little while, because I want to cast on with it while I'm excited about it. So that's my plan. Oh, the other thing that I will show that came in is I got the new Lina magazine. I ordered this from a semi-local to me LYS called The Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas, and her shipping was so fast. I ordered it, and like a day or 2 later it was here. So super, super quick. And it's beautiful as always. I haven't delved into this one in depth, but I'm very excited too. And I'm very excited about the patterns as always in it because they're stunning. So that is here, and then yeah, I'm just gonna be knitting through my Knit City stash. This week and next week I am super busy dyeing all of the rest of the Advent colors and mini skeins, and y'all are going to love this, I hope. I'm so excited for those of you that ordered them, all 75 of you, which was quite a lot, I will say. So I'm just having the most fun creating one-of-a-kind, whimsical colorways that still feel like Diane and Suburban Stitcher. So that's a lot of fun. That's keeping me very busy. Custom order requests are still open on the website, so if you have a custom order request, then don't hesitate to send that in. I loaded in some sock yarn and single sock and mohair and DK sock into the shop. That's kind of what was remaining after trunk shows in September. So that's in there right now. Make sure you go take a look. I'm going over the next day or two, I'm going to be working on adding in all of the DK, and I have a ton of DK weight yarn. So I'm going to be loading in the DK weight yarn and also the mini skeins, because I've got lots of minis that need to get in there as well. Sock sets. I have had a lot of excitement about the Harry Potter sock sets that I'm doing, and I don't think I talked about it very much, obviously, and so I want to say here, when I do these specific Harry Potter sock sets, my intent is for them to be one of a kind. So I did, the first one was Spectra Specs, and it was a one of a kind set, and it will not be dyed again. And the second set was the floating pumpkin lanterns, again, one of a kind. I don't think I'm going to be dyeing these again. I didn't write them down. I could maybe get something close. But the fun thing about doing them is thinking, okay, I have this like kind of loose idea of a theme or a thing from Harry Potter, and then I just dye it. Like one batch, what I make is what it is, and then that's it. Like I said, I didn't write down the recipes. I don't think I did. So if you like it when you see it, then grab it. And if you don't, then certainly don't. But I know there were a lot of people that were disappointed that they didn't get the last one, especially the floating pumpkin lanterns. That one was very beautiful. I didn't get one either. So I will try to add more into the batches for my next time that I do a sock set, and hopefully some more people can get them and like them. I think that's it. I said I would be loading in DK weight yarn. The last thing is a little bit of a sad announcement, and it's super sad for me, and anyway, I'm just going to say it. So I am not going to be attending Rhinebeck this year, and I am very, very sad about it. Rhinebeck holds a very special place in my heart with some very special memories from years ago when I first started knitting and being in the knitting community. And sometimes adulting and real world and life stuff trumps trips that are fun. And it would have been an amazing trip to go on, and everybody that's going in my group is going to have the best time because they have so many amazing plans, and I am just so excited for all of them because none of them have ever been before. So I'm really excited. I'm very sad for myself, selfishly, and yes, but it's all for good. It's all for good. Things are moving at such a fast pace here, and I have family commitments and some other just unforeseen things, that when you plan a trip a year out, you can't possibly prepare for. So life came a-knocking, and something just had to go, and that trip was it. So for those of you who are hoping to say hi, I am so sorry that I won't be there, but trust me when I say that I am just as sad as everyone else, or more, that I can't go. So I know that you will all have a lovely time. And on that note, I think that's it for the week, so that I hope that you all have a lovely time knitting until we meet again. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.